Hello and welcome back. I'm Shayna Cersei and I'm so excited to paint with you today for another day in our watercolor journals. We're going to do another page today and I am going to be doing some more florals. I'm just going to do a simple loose floral bouquet with a mixed range of flowers and colors. It's that time of year where things are, at least where I am, starting to pop up and really start to blossom and bloom. In addition, allergies are also blossoming and blooming around here. So sorry if I'm a little sniffly. All right, so I'm going to start with, let's see, Bohong Sketchbook, 100% cotton, 140 pound cold press. I have a silver black velvet brush today, size 8, that I'm going to use. My core watercolor paints. I've backed up a little bit so you can see my whole palette. Hopefully that's helpful. In the description, you'll see a list of all of the colors that are in my palette, and then I will go over the ones I'm using as I use them. So stay tuned for that. So I'm going to start with largest flowers first, and then I'm going to start to build in some. So I think I'm going to do some larger kind of rounded shaped flowers. I'm going to put some little buds in there as well as some taller stalk-like flowers, lots of leaves and foliage. So once you've started kind of practicing different flowers and florals and you have like a repertoire or a whole bunch in your toolbox, you can just start to mix and match them. So I'm going to start with something kind of like, and these are going to be made up, kind of like a chrysanthemum in nature. So we're going to start here, and I'm not going to draw anything out. And I started, so I had Diarylide yellow with a little magenta in it to give it kind of an orangey feel, watered down. So I'm going to use my brush to create kind of this cone or bucket shaped type flower. I'm going to leave it jagged at the edges. Then I'm going to come in, take a little bit of darker color. I'm going to drop a little bit in wet on wet just to give it some dimension. And then I have some sap green here. This is already mixed with some Payne's gray, so it's darker. I'm going to go ahead and give this I'm not going to worry about the stem, the whole stem itself yet. I'll build that in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to do another one of these, kind of up here maybe. So we're going to create a bouquet that's kind of large here and kind of the stems go down this way. I was just asked to paint a wedding bouquet, which I did this a couple of years ago for a friend, which is a great way to kind of preserve the memory of your gorgeous flowers, is to have someone paint them for you. And when I first took on the project, not really thinking too much of it, thinking, oh, I love to paint flowers, that'll be great. Not the current project that I'm working on, but when I first did this years ago, I was like, yes, absolutely. Send me the list of flowers that you're going to be using. Send me pictures of your bouquet. And then I realized wedding bouquets, the flowers are all white, which is a whole other challenge to paint a whole bouquet of white flowers. Challenging, but super rewarding, beautiful and elegant. So I'm excited to be able to do that again. Especially since I got through the first one and felt super satisfied. All right, I'm going to put one more of these. So again, I'm just using this combination of Diarylide yellow. And as these dry, if we want to go back and put on another layer, we can. Things dry too lightly. I'm going to put another one of these, but tinier, kind of on this side up here. Maybe even a little bit lighter. There we go. All right, so let's add some kind of cone-shaped flowers or stalk flowers. We'll do something in purple, or actually maybe blue. Let me pull out. I'm going to pull out some French ultramarine. Blue here. Yeah, I think this could look really good with this orangey color. So I'm going to go first with a very light version of this. And I'm going to start to build in even lighter than that. Let's go lighter. I'm going to drop in darker color shortly. But basically I'm building buds that are going to be sticking out from a central stem here. I put the stem in last. If you need to like draw your stem in to help you, but I put the stem in last because some of the buds are going to go over it. So like these center ones here, you're not going to see the stem. They're covering it up. So when you add the stem later, you're going to skip that area so that it looks more integrated. I can start to add in some of these stems. Just going to have everything kind of come to a gathered area down here. Let's add in a little bit darker color to the center area of a few of these. Make sure they're connected. That looks very pretty. All right, let's do some more like down here. So really they're just these dotted kind of loose shapes. I'm kind of imagining in my mind like the edge of them, like this edge being connected to a stem and then the flowers kind of moving outward. Some of them going over the center. So again, this is nice and loose. And let's put that stem in again in the center. We're going to skip some areas. Everything's still wet, so some of it's going to run, and I kind of love that. Look, that looseness. I'm going to add a few leaves. Sorry, that was a lot of S's that I just... All right, I'm going to add a little bit more, another flower. Let's do some buds, some like little rose buds. Let's use Magenta. Lighten that up. And I'm just going to do... So I'm really just using the shape of my brush, kind of pressing it down to create these little bud shapes, and then I'm going to gather them all together with these stems. I'm going to keep it really simple. Let's do some more. Let's do a few up here. Kind of like teardrop shapes. And you can even drop a little bit more darker color at the base of them, wet on wet, give them some dimension. But it's important to get that green in there that kind of encapsulates the bottom and holds the bud together. Let's tuck a few, I think, like in here. All right, so let's add some more foliage. I'm going to add in a couple variations of green. So I'm using this sap green and Payne's gray combo right now. But let's get in, I'm going to use some green gold and create a little contrast. And you can vary the types of structures, lots of smaller leaves like this that are parallel to each other. And you can also drop in darker color in the center there to give it a little bit more dimension. You can go with a bluer green, add a little phthalo blue to your sap green. And you could do really big, long leaves. I don't know that that was the right choice right there, just because it is such a different color. You can broaden your leaves wider. All right, so these are almost dry. I'm going to add another layer. So I'm going to clean this out. Start with this yellow, little magenta. And we're going to go in and add some thin darker lines, and this will create a little contrast within this flower. And you don't want to go over everything you just did. You want to leave some of those lighter colors to shine through. You can do a little bit more magenta. Let's get over here as well. And I'm even going to drop a little bit more of that dark green. We're going to go back to the sap green Payne's gray combo. Drop a little bit more of that in here. And take some of this nice dark color and just add a few more leaves that create a little more contrast there, a little more depth as things have dried. And you can see I'm just layering over top, not trying to like paint between things. Just a nice wild bouquet. And less is more sometimes, but also more is more. It really depends on the context. There we go. I think that looks pretty great. So thank you for painting with me as always. It's a pleasure. Don't forget to like the channel. No, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. If you enjoy this type of step-by-step walkthrough tutorial, I do lots of them in my watercolor journal each week. Check out the description for links to supplies and materials. And don't forget to leave a comment if you have a comment about anything that I have painted. I love to see your comments and questions. And also, what else? Links to products that I use. So all the paints that I use, the sketchbook, the palette, the brushes are all in the description of the video if you want to find those things online or just get some more information about them. You can find them there. And yeah, I will see you for our next watercolor journal page very soon. Thanks for painting with me, and take care, y'all. Happy painting.